Okay, hello everybody. We're just getting started here. I'm only going to be on for about an hour to do little Astro Human Design readings today, because yesterday I came on for a co-working session and quite a few people were looking for assistance. So I was like, let me create an affordable way for me to do this to make it easier for everybody that wants to be kind of like active this afternoon. I'm actually going to bring up the chart of the moment. So, and then let me also bring up my notification center here. Just gonna also get this going. That's not the one I wanted. Let me go to the other side. Hello everybody. Welcome. If you guys are new here, my name is Brenna. I am a human design reader and astrologer of 9.5 years. Hi Yasser, welcome. Who is teaching you all about the practical ways to use human design and astrology. A couple of the energies that have been kind of shifting, and I was literally just talking about it with my fellow astrologer and friend Anna, is that we have Mars that's moving into Libra tomorrow. And so it's this energy in gate 56 or 46, excuse me, in human design. I have it up on my YouTube live for my YouTube folks that are over here. Activating what's called the channel of discovery. Gate 46 is basically the somatics of the body. So we're really feeling the toll. Hi, Danielle. We're really feeling the toll on our physical vessel, our physical body, noticing that the way that we just kind of feel like we're taking up physical space, how our energetic body is interacting with our physical vessel and physical space is really coming into play. The moon is also in Capricorn today. Yeah, absolutely. It's perfect because I'm doing quicker, like 5-minute, $5.55 readings today. 5 is the number of change, and I felt like that condensed container. I'm only going to be on for like about an hour. So if you guys want to get a quicker reading from me at a more affordable price, now would be the time. So it's perfect, Danielle, because there's no one in queue. So let me know. I have my little notification center up here right now just to kind of tap into your energy, and we can look at your human design and your astrology in one. I also record these to my YouTube live. Your information is protected. No one can see it on screen. And then I send you guys an email with the timestamp of your reading. So if you want to catch me while I'm at $5.55 for the hour, now would be the time. When I'm back on Thursday, I actually won't be doing a live tomorrow, but I'll be back on Thursday at 7:30 Eastern Standard Time. There'll be my usual 13. But what I was referencing earlier was our Mars placement, and we're gonna have a little bit of an opposition between Mars and Saturn in the not so distant future. Hi Curtis, thank you. Hi Dwaniki, how are you? It's good to see you. So it's not, with any astrology transit, I always say this too, like it's not as scary as things may seem. It's all about what we do with it. I'm also a big proponent of free will. So, you know, I can tell you that you have the most amazing chart in the entire world, but if you're not willing to do the things that you have to do to move forward in a way that feels good for you or not making good decisions, it's like, okay, you know, if you go on a bender the night before you want to run the New York City Marathon, you're probably not going to feel that great while you're running the marathon, right? Like there are certain things that we're going to be wanting to think critically about. But there's a lot of, especially because of Neptune retrograde and the retrogrades that are happening with Pisces, a lot of people having trouble seeing through the fog, seeing with clarity, not knowing what to do. A lot of people circling the drain, spinning the drain, trying to get people to go down in their downward spiral. We also see this whenever we have a Mercury retrograde and we have a little bit of an extra like activation in the very late degrees of Virgo. You know, anything that's at a critical or what's called an anaretic degree in astrology is always like, what are the last most intense versions of this lesson that I have to learn before I go through and flow forward into something else? So I just saw that Danielle booked, so let me make sure that I get her chart up here. And then we'll do a little 5-minute quickie here. So thank you, Danielle. I'm excited. It's so funny. I've been seeing and talking about 222, and when you translate your birth time into military time or 24-hour time, which I use from a chart generator, it goes to 222. So I love that. I'm just going to start early because we're here. I'll pivot the screen so that you guys can see a little bit of what I'm looking at. And then our timestamp is at 5 minutes and 40 seconds. Right here. So I'm going to flip my screen. Again, we're doing $5.55 readings today, just for the hour. So, okay. So for Danielle, just looking for general insight or what I need to know right now. So a couple different aspects that I'm drawn to talk about right away, especially with the current activations that we're having. Yeah. The current activations that we're having, is paying attention to your undefined sacral as a projector. So when you have an undefined sacral and we go through a transit like gate 56 or 46, I keep saying 56. It's like words and time are all getting messed up during Mercury retrograde. They can cause a lot of pressure on your motor centers. So others that are undefined. So if you have a lot of that activation of certain energies that are put a lot of pressure on the physical body, gate 46, I said this in my energy of the day, the Human Design Way video, it can add a little bit more of that extra, hi Celestial Panda, welcome, physical pressure to the body. A lot of what we're also looking at right now too is thinking about the ways that your physical vessel and your body really does keep score for how you're treating it, whether or not you're listening to your intuition or not, and knowing that especially as a projector, like you know you best at the end of the day. I always say with my projectors, this is true for all of you guys, I have a few of you that are here right now, that it's like when you don't have a certain level of clarity for what you're going to be doing, when you're meant to be the seers and the people that are directing you, people are like, oh my gosh, if Danielle doesn't know what she's doing, then I'm screwed, right? I was just saying this to a projector last week, like, if you don't know how to guide me, like, what the heck? And a lot of this, Danielle, for you, because you have so much activation doubly. Hi Shmito, welcome. In your chart, the channel of structuring, that's the Genius Freak channel. It's taking twice as long to think about how you want to explain yourself. And then the third part is like the actual implementation. So I know you've seen this, Danielle, too. It's like, and honestly, what ends up happening is because you guys are so intuitive, what also saves you is like the bouncing off of your mental, yes, cosmic, exactly. Yes. It's like the your third eye is protected. It's so funny because I've been listening to this Lil Wayne song, and Danielle's a fellow Jersey girl like me, so she probably also spent a few summers at PNC, which is like our like local. Yes, exactly, Shmito. I remember that. Welcome back. It's like there's a song by Lil Wayne. He was just at PNC Bank Arts Center, and it's called Sorry for the Wait. It's on Spotify, and I encourage you to listen to the lyrics of it, even as a spiritual person. And one of the lyrics that I was picking up on yesterday as I was binging it was some words to the effect of like, they can't cover what my third eye see. And so, yeah, exactly, Danielle. You're like, oh yes, I get it. And so it's this blocking and protecting of your third eye to make sure that like it's no one's infiltrating that space, right? So you have it naturally, it's a natural pinging, but it's like your body is keeping score of how other people aren't paying attention to their third eye. What I've been channeling as well, and from one practitioner to another, is that this almost feels like a different kind of second wave of the vid, and how people kind of came through this like quarantine time with the second level. And Haley, I see you too, thank you, a second level of awakening. And so for us as practitioners, it's really important to say, okay, well, at this phase of my life, right, especially for gate 14, for the rest of this season, the end of the summer, going into the fall, right, what is the way that I can be most efficient in helping my people as a projector? Yeah, oh my god, oh, that's crazy. The fact that I even said that, I never say that on a live too. That's crazy that you just had it also. And it's like, I didn't get it until like 2 years ago, and I was like, oh my gosh, like this is embarrassing. Yeah, listen, Neptune also going retrograde again into the late degrees of Pisces, and I'm a Pisces, like it makes sense. I don't feel like I really believe that everyone that comes into my space is divinely protected, especially by ancestors in some way, shape, or form. Like, you're fine. I think it's kind of like the body just being like, okay, clearing out the somatic junk and garbage, also very Virgo, in order for you to kind of have that openness and that expansion with your people. Again, it's just like another kind of somatic fleshing out of the vessel to say, okay, like with the spiritual upgrades for projectors, especially when your sacral is open, comes like a clearing out of the body. I also want to say like wash off for you and tapping on your lymph nodes. Like if you have tenderness in the lymph nodes and like tapping on them to just kind of open them up. Like, I don't know, I'm literally going to demonstrate as I flip over for you into Haley here. But like you start basically by rubbing your collarbone and then kind of cup your hand and go under the armpits into the groin. There's a woman named Lisa Choi, Choi, I believe is her last name, over on Instagram that does traditional Chinese medicine, as well as my friend Noelle, who's been up here too. So she's always a good wellspring of information, but also paying attention to that when it comes to the somatics of what your body's telling you. Take a rest, but even as you're resting, you can still write things down to organize your thoughts. And it's like your writing across of explanation really says, okay, allow yourself to sit, allow yourself to use this time where you are sick and are physically kind of forced to lay down to be able to plan twice as much as you speak and then show up. It's like really spending the time to organize yourself to be able to move forward. So thank you so much. I'm so glad I got to pour into you today too. It's like sometimes I love doing these shorter readings because like it just helps me to be even more succinct in how I like channel and read for you guys. And it's usually just so validating. Yeah, thank you, Juan, in what you have to hear also. And just like knowing that you're on the right track, especially as a projector, and just finding like, you know, the kind of balance and like your body really is like telling you, okay, you're not going to sit down. I'm going to make you sick so that you have to sit down. And then you have no choice but to listen to me. Like you have no choice but to sit. Like if this is the only way you're going to sit and write, this is the way you're going to have to sit and write. And I have to make you sick in order for you to do it, unfortunately. But you know, it's like why when our nervous system is so burnt out, we get to that point. Happy belated birthday, Haley. I know it's been a couple months, but it feels like, what is time, right? And Haley's coming from TikTok. Okay, TikTok and YouTube up simultaneously, excuse me. Yeah, thank you. Yeah, my energy is still down from it. No, it really does knock you out. It's like right on your behind, right? It's like just feeling that like pressure of like, what is going on? Why is this happening to me? And then I really think that as projectors, and Haley will understand too, being a projector, that like, it takes you guys longer, and especially if you're a splenic projector, like I see that so often with my splenic projectors, like it really does take its toll, especially because the spleen, you also have an open spleen, Haley, as I pivot into you. I'm just writing down your timestamp. We're at 13 minutes, divine feminine number. On the dot here. And all three of us are 94 babies. I don't know if there's any other 94 babies in the chat, but we literally just finished our Saturn return. So it's like that discipline, as our Saturn for all three of us is actually about to go back into Pisces. And then it finally is like, we're in the clear come September. But we're really noticing this activation of our intuitive gifts. So I think you were saying just general, if I'm not mistaken, before I go full speed ahead in the next 5 minutes. Yeah, general interest in learning more about my human design. Okay, perfect. Two things that are like so fucking helpful. I can't even tell you how helpful they are, Haley, into placement specifically. And I'm also going to record these and send them to you guys just so you know, so don't feel like rushed in the pressure to write things down quickly. I'm only at 5:55 for today. So for the next hour or so, 45 minutes, I'll be on. But all that to say, two things that help me drastically that we both share are these two specific gate placements in human design, gate 5 and gate 28. You know that you're a projector, right? Projectorness you can generally find a lot about online. I have a whole projector playlist, so on and so forth. Now, when we get into the gates, this is what flavors the type of projector that you are as Haley. Now, what's interesting in reading for Danielle is that you also have the 4323 channel. So what I said for Danielle also applies to you. Gate 5, though, and gate 28 are specific to you as Haley. Gate 5 is your Sagittarius Earth placement. It's over here where when you follow the lessons of your gate 5, it's what allows you to feel very grounded in your energy. Gate 5 is all about us having a very specific routines, rhythms, and rituals. It's literally where people think that they are on the spectrum. Maybe they do have autism, maybe they don't. I always say I don't overrule. I'm not a doctor. I'm not a psychologist. I can't do those types of traits, but like can't stand certain things to be out of place, crumbs on the floor. We have a lot of that, what I notice unilaterally throughout people with all of these placements, or this placement in particular, no matter the energy type, is that like the rage that you get when somebody interrupts you when you're in hyper-focused, hyper-fixation mode. So for you to allow yourself to speak, because you're also a line 5, right? A 5-2 in your profile. That's known as the line of the heretic, which is aka the messenger. I don't know if you guys know the religious song that's like Hark the Herald Angels Sing. It's like the Christmas song. The heralding is like the type of sing-songy like messaging, kind of like the British are coming, Paul Revere, that we see with line 5 people. So it's like, I don't care whether you like it or not. This is what my schedule is, and we align when you fit within the schedule. Also really fits within a Taurus moon energy connected or conjunct your south node, where it's like, okay, when I lead by example, that's when people can kind of fall in line, and I can help myself or help other people by helping myself first. Especially as a projector, it's all about how do you put your own oxygen mask on first before you then go help other people. What can get in the way of this gate 5, however, is gate 28, which is your Jupiter placement, known as the fear of running out of time. Okay, so what happens with this sphere, when we have this sphere and an undefined spleen in human design, Danielle, you also have an undefined spleen, is we feel the fear of everybody else's pressure, of everyone else rushing. And as a projector, you're like, oh my gosh, like I'm kind of falling into feeling the pressure or people trying to make me rush. But I actually know that I don't want to rush. I have time, and maybe working on like practicing being a time bender. Like you don't know how, but you just know that you're able to bend time and snap your fingers and make things happen, especially when you really put your mind to it. It's like your words really do have power, and both you and Danielle, because you guys have that shared placement, are also really good at saying like, okay, what are my mantras? What are the words that I'm telling myself, and how can I set the tone with how I share them with other people? Especially because gate 28 is your Jupiter placement. I always say that Jupiter is an expander. So when it's great, it's amazing. But when it's bad, it feels horrible. So it's like that rushing, if that rushing is really caught up with your nervous system, if you find yourself always being late versus always being early, it can really take its toll. What I like for you and what is happening that's a kind of healthy activation that's helping you during these transits is that you also have a Cancer Venus in gate 53 in human design, which is the gate of beginnings. So it's always having a sense of like, okay, the higher octave, or the way that we want to lean towards the gate of running out of time, the gate of the game is known as the gate of the game player, where it's how do we strategize and play life like a game. I know that I have 30 minutes that I want to use to film this content, to edit it, and to post it. What am I going to do with the time that I have, right? How can I make the most of the time at play? That's going to bring the abundance up, instead of wasting the 5, 10 minutes, 30 minutes that you have saying, oh my gosh, I don't know how I'm going to do this. It's not overruling your emotional authority or your projector wisdom with the logical mind. It's like, I can complain about how I wish I had all of this time and how time is running out, or I can just rip off the Band-Aid and say, okay, I know I only have these few minutes or this little bit of time available to myself, so what can I do about it to actually alchemize this and make it feel a little bit better? So once you start to settle into allowing yourself to like try things out, try things that are new, always having new beginnings, new things that you start when it comes to new ways that you nourish yourself, especially Cancer Venus placements are very much, no matter your gender, tapping into our divine feminine. That can also make you feel really grounded in your relationship. So I would also look at what house Cancer rules. The only thing I can't see here is your rising sign in human design or in astrology, but what house Cancer is in for you, if you know, and that's the area of life where you constantly need new stimuli, new beginnings, and then also in your romantic relationships too, should you choose to be partnered or be dating in any way, shape, or form. It's kind of like always doing something new and fun. You don't see things through to the societally acceptable ending of them, and there's nothing wrong with that. So, Scorpio rising. Okay, perfect. Let me do a quick little, I don't have all the houses memorized. Scorpio rising, or like as a Scorpio rising, where Cancer is. I think it's 9th house, but let me double check. Yeah, ninth house. So intellect, doing little quick like local trips, go to a new coffee shop if like you need to be held accountable for working too. If you like say you film and edit like me and want to post online, going out and having like the body doubling can also be really helpful for you, and always choosing new places to go. You don't have to spend a lot of money to go places. Go to a free park if it's warm in your area of the world at this time. Just something that feels like it's a little bit new and exciting for you. So thank you for letting me read for you. I'm excited to like know that even just those 2 tips, like once I integrated them within myself, really helped me so much. No one, hi, you got time for one more to finish up before 2 p.m. Yeah, absolutely. I think I still have like 3 or 4 spots open. I have Aja next. So there'll be my next read, and then I have time after that. So let me know. And I will bring up, let's see, a chart here. Another East Coast friend has entered the chat. I love this. Oh, and a Scorpio. All my I have 5 planets in Scorpio. My moon in my personal placements, but I always love to see like all the Scorpio energy. Yeah, absolutely. Thank you. I appreciate you. I'm like, okay, what's the quickest way I can get my people what they need? And let's see. Okay, so Asia, I'm assuming, please correct me if I'm wrong. My name's Brenna, and I always have to do a little name correction. Over on TikTok. I'm recording this to YouTube, although your information is protected. Nobody can see it. And I'll send you a timestamp here. After, let's see. Ooh, can you give me career ideas? Yes, I love to talk about career so much. Just give me a thumbs up to let me know that you're here, because I started early from the time slot. Oh, Aja, okay, thank you so much. I appreciate that. Thank you. But hi, it's nice to meet you. We are starting at the 22:15 minute marker here. Aja, okay. And so a couple places I like to look. So do I have I do, okay. One of the places I like to look at when I talk about career in astrology and human design, it's so funny because actually all of you, including your beautiful self, have the channel of structuring, which is known, hi Kaylin, as the Genius Freak channel. So in your incarnation cross, right, which I'm about to read to you from the book of Destinies in Human Design, this is the place that I look at when I say, okay, what are the things that you love to give? Because you're a projector as well. You may or may not know this. What are the places that you love to give unsolicited advice to people about? Like if you could get paid to give unsolicited advice, hi Intuitive, how are you? What would that be? Especially when I see a beautiful projector with a Gemini moon, I'm like, oh my gosh, I know that you know a little bit about everything, if not a lot of bit about everything, right? All my projectors, I know. I always see you guys are my biggest crew. So when it comes to the 4323 channel, right? Your projectors all with this channel, all 3 of you in a row, is basically allowing yourself to think, okay, I know that I can understand and retain a lot of complex concepts, but how do I break it down in a way that other people can understand it? It was 2333 when I looked at the chat. And so what are the things that you can't stop studying, the rabbit holes that you can't help but go down, and how can you allow yourself for the duration of your 20s, Aja, to really allow yourself to explore everything that you want to explore in this lifetime? Once you are post your Saturn return, that's when you get a lot more clarity on how you really want to ground in whatever, like the ways that you want to be a contributor in terms of being a role model. Now's the time that you get to do everything for the plot. So it's like, okay, I'm going to maybe be a spiritual mentor in this capacity in this way for a little bit of time for this year, and then 25 is going to look a little bit different, and then 26 is going to be a little bit different. You have a lot of leadership qualities. I think it's just getting clear right now on doing things to the plot in terms of who are the people that you want to lead and who are the people that are listening to you the most. I think that a lot of what is probably a big stressor for you, or struggle, I will say, is that you are 24, you probably are young and beautiful, right? And people don't take you as seriously because you're young and beautiful. So it's like, I have to like wait for my age to catch up with like my spirit, or for people to understand me. I will say that as a projector, it's like really focusing on the quality of people you surround yourself with, and that becomes the quantity over time. Nothing that you build at this stage, especially while Cancer is conjunct your North Node, with our current transits, your North Node in Cancer, gate 53 as well, it's like you get to do certain things in different seasons of your life. You also, right, as a gate 5 person, I was mentioning this with Haley just before you, we work, because I have this placement too, we work really well by breaking things down into seasons. So I know that for you, what will always feel good when it comes to career is the winter is going to look different, like Q1, right, January to March. The second quarter and the spring is going to look different, and you're going to tweak what you'll be working on. The summer will be different, and then the winter, the summer, the fall, and the winter will all be different. So that doesn't mean that you have to constantly like leave jobs if you want to. You certainly can, but it can be that like if you are somebody that wants to be self-employed versus working for a company, you're gonna want to have that kind of shift for yourself. Where say, you know, January through March, maybe you only offer readings through YouTube. If you're just using myself as an example, a spiritual entrepreneur, you definitely have a lot of qualities for leading people in a spiritual capacity. But it could also be art if you're a creative person. It can be, you know, psychotherapy. It could be more literal when it comes to like career and I should say like a scholastic education, like academia. Academia can also be something that you focus on as well. I just posted a video about the shifts and the gates of, hi Amanda, of gate 7, because we're in this transit right now, which is your Mercury in the 5th line. What did I have for the 5th line? I'll look at it another time. But all that to say, you definitely are somebody that can really lead people through monetizing your intellectual property. You're not somebody that's meant to be a physical laborer. Because see how all of your chakras are more so defined in the upper chakras of your body where these are open. If you try to do like too much of the manual labor or physical labor, or too much talking or too much walking people through things, like a nurse, for example, that can get really tiring. It's more so like if you were to be on your feet, you want to be doing like Reiki or massage, where you have the opportunity to kind of be a little bit more silent and behind the scenes. So I'm just going to flip my screen here so you can see me as I'm reading for the Book of Destinies. I want to have this on camera for you here. This is the Book of Destinies in Human Design. And I want you to think about the things that you can't stop Googling, the things that you can't help but like just like be obsessed about, whether that's spirituality or math or crystals, like anything along those lines, and kind of run this through in your mind's eye, the creative ways that you can make a career out of what I'm about to read for you, because it's a helpful funnel. So, your constant impulse in life is to inform and explain. Sometimes you feel quite attuned to what you are saying, while at other times you and your audience may wonder what on earth you're talking about and question how you know what you're saying. Within you resides the ability to transform people's lives, and your gift is to be able to communicate with a wide spectrum of people. Your challenge is to make yourself understood. You can be said to have the tendency to blurt things out, and many times you find yourself saying things that have little correspondence with the thoughts and expressions of other people. Developing the ability to be comfortable in conversation can take practice, especially when you have so many insights that demand expression and explanation. That paragraph just in and of itself is really helpful for you to say, okay, if I'm monetizing my intellectual property, how do I get paid? And Julia, I see you. Thank you. My YouTube, Julia. Through PDFs, through YouTube videos where in the links I have sales to PDFs. I do that on my YouTube channel as well. It's like finding ways that you can capture all of your research and refine it through a system where you get compensated through that too. That could be sewing patterns. If you have an RV and you're somebody that loves to travel, it could be travel itineraries. See how it's like the same concept, but it's just applied in a little bit of a different way? That's going to be something that can be really helpful to you. The last little paragraph I'll read here. You will find that from your very birth, you have had an extraordinary array of insights about life in the universe that do not necessarily match other people's beliefs and understandings. Rendering insights into language has been and always will be a challenge unless you're able to develop effective speech skills. Finding out the way that you like to write. Are you somebody that likes to create a PDF that's equally as visually satisfying as the content is impactful? It is as though your mind registers a sound that might also be an image, and your great work is to translate the sound, image, insight into something that relates to other people in a way that they can appreciate. I also picture the people who put together like mood boards. There's a great person that does this. Her name is Studio Inez. If you're into fashion, she's here on TikTok, and it's INES, and she'll do like mood boards of like outfits for a Bad Bunny concert. And then what you can do to further that is link the places or the links to all of the outfits and create an LTK. It's a like to know or like to know it. Hi Natasha, welcome back. Where you can also get money or commission for the sales that you make, and you're doing something fun, which is creating outfits online. It's like those niche micro influencers who create that kind of like beautiful little energy. That can be another way to just start to play with it in ways that you want to lead and guide people through the lens of fashion, right? There's so many different ways that you could look at it based on your interests. Sometimes this translation might seem impossible, and you might be tempted to remain silent rather than try to express what cannot be said. It is not that your insights are incorrect, it's that they're different, novel, and potentially revolutionary to other people. Trust in your gut and know that your audience is ready to listen, and you will find the means to communicate these amazing insights that are continuously seeking expression through you. So I will leave that for you with that, or that with you for now. Mercury retrograde has me all tongue-tied. But just allowing yourself, I think, to really lean into your creativity. You, like me, have this energy of being an inspiration to the people, hi Erica, that you're around. So really paying attention to the somatics of that. Just what that feels like for you in your body, what feels intuitively correct for you to just kind of focus in on. And listen, I just got out of my Saturn return. I tell people all the time, like as somebody who's 31 now, what I wish I knew in my 20s is like allowing myself to just explore what it means to be alive in my 20s, experiencing things. Our 20s are what people tell us that our teenage years should have felt like, right? It's like, it's so different in that way. So it's just allowing yourself to explore, and yeah, have fun with it. Like, what is the most aligned way that you can monetize your intellectual property in this way, in this time, in the most exciting way for you? So, hi Joyful, welcome. Thank you for letting me read for you. Look out for an email from me for all you guys. I'm also going to send you a free video that I have over on YT that's about projectors, so that it'll help you with this too. A lot of it is how to make money as a projector, or how to represent yourself as a projector in human design more effectively. So I really believe in helping my projectors, so I'll include that for all you guys. Yeah, thank you. I'm excited. Let me know how it goes for you, or I give you the invitation to come back and share, and just let me know like what you have going on, where you kind of land, and what that looks like for you in real life. I think a lot of my 20s, I also wish that like when I knew I wasn't going to stay at a job forever, I just I did things for the plot and like what I had to do to make money, to pay for my apartment and to pay my bills. But I didn't let it take my spirit. I allowed myself to come home and still pursue, something like human design. I worked as a claims adjuster for the little green lizard insurance company. That's basically when you get into a car accident. I'm the the first person that you see post-accident that helps your car, right? Like random things that I did that I just had to do. And it taught me a lot of like emotional resilience for the jobs that I do now, and things like that too. So I just give you that ability to have that grace for yourself in your 20s too. So definitely like wise beyond your years. I can tell you that for sure. I'm just gonna put add projector video so I remember. And then we're gonna pivot over to beautiful Julie here, who's over on my YT channel. If you guys want to watch your reading back right away, you can also sub to me there, same username. Oh yeah, okay, there we go. Let me see here. So, think I said new moon by mistake in the booking. I know you meant, yeah, you wrote the date too. You said full moon, you got it. I'm interested in the transit, how it the effects on my gate from the Aquarius full moon on 8/9, since it is almost dead on my own natal aqua moon. Oh wow, I love that. Yes, it really is. Okay, perfect. So yeah, quick look at the transits of the full moon on the 9th. It's landing right on my natal moon, and my natal Venus is getting hit too. Yes. Given my active gates, what is my best focus? Okay. I'm actually going to read to you one of the things, or one of the excerpts that I actually read for my Patreon people, because every new moon and full moon we do a training, or I do a training for them. And I also read this little excerpt from your guys' fellow projectors. Another projector has entered the chat with Juliet. Oh, let me write this down so I know your timestamp. So we're about, I'm going to say like 34 or 33, 30. We'll do 333. I'll double check my time, but just so I have that. So talking about the transit. So Julia, for you, your natal moon is in gate 13, right? As you know, that's the gate of the listener that sits in the G center, which is all about love and direction. Right now, as of today, the sun also created extra activation with gate 7 there, which is giving you an extra amount of understanding, like where your silence actually has a lot of power. So when we're feeling this kind of transit, I want you to just have this on the recording so you can reflect on it after I read for you. Where is it? Yeah, the gate of listener here. So again, this is a guy named Chetan Parkin. The gate of the listener, the energy that you're going to be experiencing and turning the dial up on gate, the 6th line for you specifically is being a role model and how you are the listener. Remember projectors. Yes, Natasha, I'm a man, Jen, is shining outward in being the listener, being the neck that tells the head where to go. When you see all these people running around like headless chickens and you're like, if you just sat yourself on my neck, actually, I would be able to help you as a projector and guide you by leading through example. So, gate of the listener, transit for the Aquarius, full moon in Aquarius. Now, are you sitting comfortably and are you listening? It's a stupid question, really, because of course you're listening. It's within your nature because you are a born listener. You could absorb the stories of the world, your shoulder could be drenched by a torrent of tears, and your very being could be mistaken for a listening post where every stranger could unburden themselves and divulge all their disrespect and deepest, darkest secrets. There is something about your depth which mines stories from everyone and everyone around you. I've no idea why I'm telling you this, I hardly know you, but is something you've no doubt heard many times. I feel like we all can relate to that. Hi, Simone, in some capacity. You might well intend to mind your own business when you enter into social or business environments, but don't kid yourself. I'm not saying you're nosy, far from it, but you can become fatigued by hearing the life stories of others, but you happen to be the magnet for them. The universe programmed you this way. What I really love about this, before I read the next couple paragraphs, is that what it's teaching you is just how incredibly observational and intuitive you are. There's this lens, right? Hi, Space Cowboy, welcome. There's this lens of people that have the gate of the listener, Aquarius moons, where you're very much so able to be detached. Yeah, I've heard that far too often. I get it. It's like when you kind of see yourself from that unemotional place. It's so funny because there Erica Jane, who's the name of one of the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills, it was like someone who had the same username, not her account, and she has an Aquarius moon. And it's so funny because the judgments that she gets is being the ice queen because she's emotionally observing or observing as an outsider with emotional detachment how to react to a situation, right? Like, how do I want to bring, what version of myself do I want to bring to the table? Which is interesting because I just had my friend Noelle, who's a fellow astrologer, say to me the other day, because I'm an Aqua rising, although a different degree than this full moon in Aquarius, it's like being the water bearer is like, especially as a projector, Julia, you're like the vessel that people are pouring their water into, and you're getting unfiltered water, you're getting the cleanest filtered water, and you're always kind of tasting and then dumping out. That's the key, is to remember to do things that you need to do to dump out, wipe your vessel clean it so it doesn't get that weird mold, right? That like mold that can grow in people's showers where it's like that orange mold, cleaning that out and wiping it out and making sure that you know you have 2 ears, but you want to listen to the people who actually create some reciprocity for you. Leo season and that gate 7 is all about reciprocity and not letting people take your power away. The transit for this day and what's being activated, especially too with your Leo North node, we just left that with the gate of privacy last week. I also just made a YT video about that, is picking and choosing how you can just smile and nod and walk away from an energy. Really important for the full moon in Aquarius. I just say put another note. Yeah, I need a new built-in filter. I know. Well, that's the thing, is like you have a defined throat. So even though you're a projector, it's people aren't going to talk over you. It's like waiting for the right people, channel of community, and the right time to share. It's like so much of what I've been saying, burp of affirmation, excuse me, is that having the ability to just look at somebody and smile and nod and walk away actually shows how much power you have. I'm like, you have no idea how much practice it took for me to be this restrained, right? I always say working on the internet, it's like this energy of like, you never know who you're gonna get. I can feel like I'm walking down the nicest beach pathway, you know, or I feel like I'm in the trenches of Times Square at 3 o'clock in the morning. And I went to school in New York City. I've spent many a previously drunken night. I don't drink anymore to that capacity, a glass of wine every once in a while, but like, you know, in that area of the world and seeing some scary things, right? So, you know, really being able to pick and choose what you listen to, what content you're consuming is also going to play into that, right? I know what we were talking about with, to your words, a farce book, right? I can't do that all the time. I'm going to say, yeah, I think it's like remembering that through the lens of the transits, it's like less is more during this time. Of course, you have a defined throat for a reason. That doesn't mean that you always have to stay silent. It's more so like, I say for projectors and my, hi Sony, and my beautiful manifestors like Simone, my fellow Pisces girly, it's, and you're a Leo, you're a fire sign, like, of course. I say gate 4 is also like the professor with integrity and confidence that is meant to be a teacher, but you're not going around campus handing out your syllabus to other people. You belong to an institution, you have a history, and you're known and recognized for your craft, so people are coming and signing up for your class. You're not going around, you know, pimping yourself out, whoring yourself out, for lack of a better way to say it, to get people to recognize your genius. So it's like people know, it's very Scorpio rising-esque or Scorpio flavored, where it's like people know always, especially with your placements, Julia, that like you always have thoughts, and they get insecure when you don't express them out loud. And if they ask you, you know, you could say like, I'm not trying to hurt your feelings, but you know, I'm not trying to, you know, or maybe you are trying to hurt their feelings. I feel like some people like, you know, have the audacity. So sometimes we need to kind of shove them back. You know, and push them in that direction too. But yeah, just kind of allowing yourself to rest on your laurels a little bit and allow yourself to ground and thinking about that. With the last thing that I'll leave you with is that your gate 18 Venus aspect is that having problems with people that are, hi Nini, in positions of authority. I don't know if anyone else has gate 18, but gate 18 holds the fear of authority, but basically people in positions of authority or perceivable positions of authority trying to keep you under their thumb. So I think what's going to happen is you're going to notice a lot of people exposing themselves in that way, and where they're going to kind of get called out, or when you're like, you know what, I'm removing my energy. It's so funny because almost all you guys, Danielle, who is it? Aja, Haley, I think almost all of you, Julia as well, have the rating across of explanation. So that little section, hi Jamie, welcome. Hi Sydney. Have the rating across of explanation. It's taking the time to kind of create the syllabus, to write out your lesson plans before you share what you're going to share. I have a little bit of buffer time in the last like 20 minutes that I'm on if anyone else wants to book. It's a $5 today for 5 minutes, 555. But I can talk a little bit more about that incarnation cross since you guys are all here too. Yeah, exactly. I am my own authority. Exactly. I'm not in fear of authority. I just don't like them. Yeah, and I'm just using the human design vernacular. I'm not, don't take it too seriously in terms of like, you're afraid of authority. It's like, I know that you know that. You've lived a lot of life to have a lot of experiences in a way that like, you're good. I'm not concerned about that. I think it's just being sensitive to people who try to keep us small, right? Is probably a better way to say that. And you're able to tell us what we have to look out for, right? Especially just because of like the wisdom of your experiences. Like you are a great guide to kind of tell us like what to look out for, how to be our own inner authority. Like you're the perfect person to really be able to highlight that within us. So for my TikTok people, I'm over on YouTube as well. I started dual streaming. Hi Rana, welcome. Dual streaming. So my beautiful Julia projector, Leo, happy early birthday, is over on YouTube. So that's what I'm looking over. But thank you, Julia, for letting me pour into you. Yeah, exactly. I don't do small. I never knew a Leo to do small. No matter how, I would say it's like that, it's kind of like a smirk, right? Like wearing a little bit of a smirk. So, what kind of reading can I get? Oh yeah, whatever you want, Sony, whatever you feel called to ask for, I can do it all. A Jill of all trades. So if you want, I'm really tapping into like human design Astro, but always with a little bit of, psychic gifts too, if you like that. But, yeah, just let me know. I'll look out for your your booking to come through. But yeah, it's a lot of that. Yeah, thank you. And again, happy early birthday. I think like a great tip actually for all you projectors, something that I always like to look at is success versus bitterness, because that's a shared vocabulary word between all of you guys. Your signature is success. So it's how do I feel successful? What version of me is going to feel most successful with these transits? Yes, Rana, I can give you a reading if you just know your location and your day. I'll just focus on your sun sign, which is 70% of the energy specific within your 5-degree window. So there's a couple things that I can give you that won't disrupt our flow here. But all that to say, when you're thinking of manifesting, or really full moons are about purging. It's what we have to remove to get our manifestations here. Awesome, yes, I see you. Our manifestations here, right? It's like you're projectors. You kind of know. You can snap your fingers and anything that you want. Hi, Tiara, is yours. I think a way to look at it with what you have to release in any type of way is your not self theme of bitterness, which is like, where do I feel a little bit bitter? Where do I feel slept on? Where do I feel like people aren't acknowledging how much I bring to the table, especially as a Leo? It's that recognition and that pride that you take in your work and your lived life experiences. That's also important, right? Like I'm the complement to my Leos. I have no Leo placements, but I'm very Aquarian, very Scorpio as a Pisces sun. I have stelliums in both, where we're fixed signs. It's like we know who we are, especially with that defined G center that you have, Julia, that light blue diamond. It's like you're a diamond, right? You want people to treat you appropriately, or insert your favorite gem here. So I'll leave you with that. Let me bring up Simone's chart here, my beautiful Piscean babe, my fellow Piscean babe. I'm actually going to write down because I'm going to start yapping here. And then Simone, I started recording since we met first, way back when. I started recording the readings that I do and posting them on YT. So I will send you an email. Just check your spam if we haven't emailed before. So that way it's there, but your information is protected. So I don't share anything that's like outing people online in that way. I like to protect the space. But what's really fun for you and I, being Pisces, is that we do have Neptune retrograde right now. That's been shared between gate 25, Pisces and Aries. So I also wonder, I hope you're feeling better, because I know that health has been a struggle for you, or just something that you are tending to, right, in your life, I'll say. I feel like not holding that much like heavy energy to it. But gate 46, Virgo Mars, that we're experiencing right now is also something to pay attention to, because it's very much about how the body's keeping score. But what I really wanted to tell you to pay attention to is like psychic downloads and spiritual gifts. Yeah, girl. Yeah, it's a struggle. It's a disability for sure. I totally understand that. I feel like a lot of it is to almost like when you say focus on money and TikTok creating success right now, I would love to see you doing like more channeled readings in some capacity. I don't know if you've been doing them as much, or if you have bandwidth to, but I would also like think about being comfortable and cozy, and like how can you just kind of sit and lean into the comforts of your home, and that it doesn't like, you have such a beautiful aesthetic that it's like, be in your comfy clothes. Like I literally am in, like I wore the sweatshirt to bed last night. I showered before bed, I wore this to bed last night, and I was like, I'm just comfortable in this. I like my light blue, I want to wear it. And so I'm just gonna leave it on for the day, right, and have my leggings on, and like kind of seeing how like in that Piscean way, in that sage-like quality, like you can still allow yourself to make money by creating a little bit more of a relaxing ease, especially as like a Pisces woman during this time. Like the things that you say, and I was just told this by one of my beautiful clients, Karen, who is known as the Sage on TikTok. She lives on like her own kind of like remote island. It's like something I could totally picture like you and your family doing. But how everything that we say tends to have some sort of like double entendre, or like the specific examples that I give people to help them usually have some added layer of a gift that we don't even realize, because it just flows through us so easily and effortlessly, where it's sometimes like, depending on what we're reading for, how we're reading for people, or what they ask for from us, you know, it's a little bit easier, I'm just plugging my phone, for us to channel it. Actually, in a way, when you allow yourself to do it as a Pisces, almost takes like less effort and energy on your physical body, and really paying attention to that. The thing that is kind of like, you got good at like starting TikTok shop and like striking the like iron while it's hot, or like capturing the lightning in a bottle. And so you have like a certain momentum that was there before the market got saturated. The only unfortunate downside of it is that the market did get saturated. So it's like, oh, like when you're struggling with a disability, it's like, okay, TikTok gives you a slap on the wrist if you're not posting, hi Noelle, every single day, you know, like there's like that energy of like, oh, okay, like, you know, I have to start this all over again. And so, you know, if there's something that you can, Sony, yay, I see you. If there's something that you can, put on some variation of autopilot, whether that's using your physical body as a vessel to channel and really taking steps to set up like your routine before and after. I know, as a sick manifestor, it's so true. I also, what did I want to look at? I think you have gate 5 like I do too, and like a few of us. Let me go back, hold on. Let's see, hi, yay. Oh, I love that. It's so funny because Noelle said clean and she had made me a beautiful little Florida water that I've been using. I have to dig it out of my bag somewhere. But I picture you like using a lot of Florida water, like showing us how you get into your routine. Yeah, you also have gate 5, Noelle. So it's like really sticking to your structure as much as you can. I know you're a young mom with a family, but really it's your Saturn, so, and your design side. So really getting disciplined about like sticking to that routine. It's in your undefined sacral. The only two that you have there is gate 5 and gate 9, which gate of focus and gate of rhythm and rituals, which is ironic because that's what gives you ADHD, because you're trying to fit everyone else's needs before your schedule. So it's like, okay, how does that work? But essentially, right, it's kind of what I did today. I would allow yourself to kind of flow with what your body is telling you that you need to shift. You also have the channel of surrender like me, which is like, what do we feel called to share as a manifestor? It's like, I just want to inform my people of what they need in this way, in this time. I would also lean into, from a TikTok shop perspective, anything that's like a lower cost item that has to do with like spiritual preparedness. I said a lot of the energy that I'm feeling right now, Noelle and I were talking about this, is like, it's you know, lockdown part 2 in a lot of ways. Not that I necessarily think we're going to go through that, but I think that a lot of people are feeling safer, you know, staying in their corner of the world for multiple different reasons. But things that, like, if you were to do, like if I were you, right, this is kind of how I would set it up, where I'd be like, okay, if I'm doing TikTok shop plus psychic readings, right, I'm going to do a video that is linked to my TikTok shop that's kind of an idea of how, what are my crystals that I use to prepare, and like where's my Florida water? One of the ones back here, right? Like, these are the tools. Maybe these are things that people can buy in TikTok shop. And then, you know, the second post can be the post that you make before you're going to go live about being a spiritual channel and tapping into what you're picking up spiritually, getting cozy, being comfortable, being like no fucks given about where you're at and where you have to sit, right, to do that. And then your third video and post, right, post live, could be something that you make about what you do to kind of wind down. And ironically, what helps is that in you making content around that, it helps you to hold not only yourself accountable, but inspire other people to do the same too. So if that feels good for you, if somatically you can do that, allow yourself to do that. Maybe you can omit the middle ground and just start to create a little bit of your own habit before you go out and share. But it's a good way to kind of focus on tying what you're doing together naturally in a way that ties in TikTok shop. You can get paid for your psychic gifts without having to do like the heavy physical labor of coaching. Frankly, I don't really think any manifestor should be doing like one-on-one coaching sessions with people. It's more so like, this is what I do. You can buy the rights to doing what I do. But like, I'm just telling you what I do with an element of grace and charm, gate 22 Pisces. So yeah, I like that idea. In the spiritual world, I don't think I'm a channel. Yes, I don't think I'm a channel for others. It's just more knowing what they need to heal. Yes. And that's where it's like, Sony, I'm just bringing up your chart. It's like allowing yourself, when you just take a step back, and I think that this is just such a beautiful tip for everybody, no matter what. I see it for myself, and it works for me. It's a lot of the reason I have, you know, the success that I do, is to plan twice as much before you post. So it's like really organizing your thoughts when you really take a step back and say, okay, I see that people are like, oh my God, they're flailing, they're running around. Like, what is it that I know as the guide, right? I'm a channel for me for sure. Exactly. You're like, I've channeled this, but as a non-sacral, your micro and what's happening in your internal world is what actually is a testimony for the macro. Right? Like, I know that I see this in my small way in this relationship with my husband, but maybe I don't have to say that I went through this with my husband, but I give the macro example of what it looks like for other people. And I recommend you guys, like, you can always have a specific person in mind that'll help you get really clear on how to organize your thoughts and share the messy, make the messy a message, right? Like, it's a lot of helpful kind of ways to look at that. Oh, Sony, I just read the first 2 lines and I'm like, oh girl, the cheese man is real. But yeah, Simone, thank you. Hi, Tam. How are you? I hope your body's feeling good. Gate 46, going into the somatics of Libra season. I'm going to bring up beautiful Sony's chart here, and we are at minute marker 54, 32, 1738. I don't know if Fetty Wap is relevant. I'm glad, Simone. I'm going to just send you a little healing prayer and energy. Yeah, and also... Noelle, who's here, she's the one that I was mentioning earlier, because we talk about each other all the time now in each other's lives, that does traditional Chinese medicine. I don't know if you have an interest in that, if that's something that you can partake in, but I'll just make the connection. Hi, Guala, how are you? Make the connection if that feels like something that you're interested in, because I know that what you have, it's like there's only so many mass cell activation, like something with the activation, there's only so many things that you can digest. I always get on my For You page the girl that can only eat a special baby formula, and I'm good. How are you? I want to say that are you a Cancer? Wasn't it your birthday, or do you have Cancer placements? Happy birthday, or I'm like totally off. What I was gonna say, but she can only eat like oatmeal and baby formula, and the body is so interesting. I never went down that path, but I'm interested in anything natural. Yeah, so Noelle would be a good person to connect with. She's such, it's not only her area of study, but it truly is one of her many gifts and skills that she's really good at. So yeah, okay. Yeah, like consumption, that makes sense. Okay, sorry, let me pause there. Well, I'll start it. Let me change this for Sony so I don't get myself distracted. 5552, how apropos, 555. I'm doing 555 readings. I think I have like 1 spot left. But Sony says, an ex reached out with an apology. Should I reply with my drafted note? It's very sharp and sort of fuck off, right? She said fudge off because she's kind. But if I feel that with all your Scorpio, a couple things are happening right now. The first thing that I'll say is like not taking the low-hanging fruit. I would only reach out and say what you have to say if it's like a nail in the coffin to really cut off the gangrenous limb and start to heal. Now, I know what causes a little bit of like extra challenges for you is that you do have children together. So like depending on where you're at in that process, especially as a beautiful reflector, Tam is also a reflector, it's like really feeling into what the somatics of your body are telling you. What I like about sending the message, nail in the coffin, and releasing that is that even though it's Mercury retrograde, this is not a relationship that just started and you're having the like, what are we conversation? You know, it's like retrogrades are always a perceivable going back to kind of tie up the loose ends that we didn't have closure on moving forward. I just have this little puzzle that I have to do. It's funny. A little beach like showed up. Oh, okay. Yeah, okay. I'm making an assumption. Thank you. Hi, Deanna. Okay. So that also adds a little bit of relief to things. I would say if you need closure in any way, I am pro send the text if it feels helpful to you and you're like, yeah, I didn't get to say what I was going to say because my undefined throat didn't let me speak up in the moment. But now that you've thought about it, you waited a lunar cycle, you've drafted your message. Hello. Hi, Megan. Hi, Deanna. I feel intuitively like you should send it, right? Because it's not like let's figure it out. What are we? Like, how do I get dragged back into, you know, it's like the pile of messed up, mucked up yarn in the bottom of the yarn bin, you know, or whatever. So it's kind of like an unmucking or really being able, I don't know why I keep saying it, but like putting the nail in the coffin. I don't know if maybe you said that about, it's funny, my coffin, my New Jersey accent coming out. You know, like letting you be free. It's not about giving him closure. It's about giving you closure, right? It's never about him. It's about us. If you couldn't get it right the first time, whatever, you know? And it's so funny, like these people, exes, you know, men, especially in heteronormative relationships, but like people that are like that, right? Like it's like clockwork. Like you cannot make up this shit enough. During Leo season where it's all about like me, and see me and all of that. And then Mercury retrograde where it's like, pay attention to me, like whiny little like baby kind of energy. These people do it to themselves and they don't even realize. So, you know, for you, yeah. Yeah, exactly. You got that by yourself. You're like, I actually don't need you for closure. I don't need to tell you to tell me that you're done with me for me to be done with you. Like, if that makes you feel better about yourself, Mr. X or Mrs. X or Mr. X, then fine. But I think it's like short, sweet, and to the point, like being very cold. A lot of what I was talking to Noelle also about Scorpio energy, it's like the something we really have to have closure with something dying off. I also have a Scorpio stellium, so it's like I can't do like pending, right? Like pending makes me feel uncomfortable. It means that there's still a level of like openness in the connection to somebody. I am very much pro the block button, the final text of conversation, so there's no gray, about where I'm at. It's like a Scorpio either stings you or it doesn't, right? A spider either bites you or it doesn't. You're either dead or alive. Like there's no in between, because it's a fixed sign. So it's like I'm this or that. It's like beautiful Julia, who's a Leo, is like, I am my own authority, right? It's like, that's a declaration in and of itself. They're not really like, the mutable parts of us. Yeah, no, I understand that. Yeah, he was blocked everywhere except my phone. It's funny because I keep going to say she, so it's almost like, I wonder if he was a Libra or had a lot of Cancer placements, or maybe his Venus was immutable. That like it felt like he put you in the masculine, because I also think it's kind of weird like when people see you like as a mom sometimes. Like I feel for my single mom friends who like have been dating, one of my closest friends that I've known since I'm 11, and it's like when they see you, okay, Pisces Sun Venus, okay, yeah, it's so funny, I was thinking Pisces Venus. Yeah, that's a rough combo. It's like then the Taurus moon on top of it. It's like all the negative. And so much of what Noelle and I were just talking about that'll say to you too is that the Pisces that are doing bad are like horrible right now because of Neptune retrograde, which is one of the rulers of Pisces. Jupiter is the traditional ruler, Neptune's the modern ruler. Hello. It's like it's just like ew, like it just is ew energy. Like it just like is like, oh, we need to purge it out and get it over with, because it's like too much desperation, honestly. Desperation in the energy. It's like, we missed you too. Like he's groveling, right? Where it's like, actually, like I want you to be in your masculine and like be able to take care of me and be in a partnership, not where like I feel like I have to be your legs in a relationship. And it's funny because sometimes before I hop on, I see certain things for my people. Oh yeah. So like super critical of you, and he can dish it out, but he can't take it, which is also very like when you have somebody whose sun opposes their rising sign, it's do as I say, not as I do. And you don't need that. You literally don't have the time. You have so many other beautiful things that you can focus your time and your energy on, including your daughters, that like, you don't need that. It's like, I can judge everybody else, but no one judge me though, right? No one do that to me, right? So it's like, you don't need that. And I think it's like, what's nice about being a reflector is that you can see the good in everybody, but it's like not to idealize it. And I think this is, if I had any intuitive inkling, it's kind of like helping you to not idealize the situation anymore. And again, nail in the coffin, like you buried it, you moved on, you're on to other things. So, I'll leave you with that. I would say send the text. It's actually a good time to send the text, right? This is why not all readings are created equal. You should send the text because it allows you to just have some closure, which I love as a lunar. Yeah, I love that. Erases the door. You're like, oh, there we go. Yeah. I haven't said anything to him since November. He was so cruel. I was hearing something outside. At first it sounded like a turkey, and then it was like a crazy truck that was outside. But it's funny because turkeys are also kind of like, we have wild turkeys that walk around my backyard. One of my neighbor like feeds them, so they do their kind of like rounds, as well as this like little like herd of deer, which is really cute. And like turkeys are also about like renewal. Also funny because November, your birthday, the last time you talked to him was since November, your birthday, right? What did he do or not do for your birthday? So that Thanksgiving is also not lost on me too. Yeah. And I like anytime somebody is cruel, I'm like, Pisces, I definitely can be ruthless with my words when I like need to go in on somebody, and I'm like, no, like I know how to. It's like I'm really good at insulting people when they do wrong, right? It's like I say we're nice until you're not, but like I will go back at somebody if they've been cruel. Also another Pisces, not saying that you were cruel, so like you deserved it in any way, but like yeah, Tam also is like almost a year, like damn, it really took him that long. But it's like, okay, what? So like you couldn't find anyone else, so now you have to come back and try to torture me? Like that's not my fault, Hi, Jessica. It's your problem that you couldn't get yourself together, but it's like you don't need to waste your time, For unfortunately, especially with a lot of heteronormative men that are like that, right? That are kind of like mama's boys in a lot of ways. They cannot appreciate what they have until they know that they can't have it anymore. And then you have to be okay with giving yourself the closure of knowing that they will only be who you want them to be once they don't have access to you anymore. And then they think that if they do that and knew all the things that they were supposed to do when you were together, that's going to be an excuse, and you're going to be like, oh, well, now she'll take me back, or now she'll take me because I'm doing all the things. And I'm like, okay, so you are capable of doing that when we were together, but you couldn't, now that you don't have me anymore is when you decide to act right. That's also not actually acting right at all, you know? So I was like, all right, I'm good. Yeah, I know a narc when I hear about one. For yourself, gorgeous there, Delulu. It's so true. Pisces, Virgo rising, Pisces sun, and Taurus moon, and Pisces Venus. So I was saying anytime you have a rising sun opposition, so the sun is in the 7th house in whole sign, and the rising sign is opposite, it's like a do as I say, not as I do. And like you just don't have time to mother a son, you know? It's like, especially when you have 2 kids, it's like, you know, that's why I feel like at a certain point in time, it's like, having somebody that's just been through a little bit more like life experiences, but like they took responsibility for the hand that they dealt themselves, right? Or like whatever it is that their journey took them to at this point. It's like you can't outsmart people the lessons that they're supposed to learn. So I'm excited for you to move forward, put the nail in the coffin, and release it before this next lunation, full moon in Aquarius. Aquarius is about standing in our own personal power, so it's a good time. Yeah, well, you know, he can't strong arm you. I literally said this, hi Dios. I literally said this today in my YT video about gate 5. If you just scroll to like, it's literally 30 seconds for the energy of the day. I walk through all of the energy of the week. Don't let people try to strong arm you into doing what they want you to do. Like, if there was ever a time to focus on doing that, right? I was gonna say, okay, yeah, I'm so glad. Oh, hi, Dios. Thank you, Noelle. I was gonna say, I was like trying to finish my thought before I so rudely interrupted myself. But I love that. I'm gonna be on for another like 5-ish minutes, and then I will be back on Thursday night. I won't be on tomorrow, unfortunately, because I'll be out for most of the day. But I will be back on Thursday. If you guys want to sign up ahead of time and you are on this live and you didn't get to have a reading, I will leave my books at $555, but on Thursday, if you book day of, they will go back up to $15. So I'll be nice just because I wasn't on for everyone that I know that wanted to get a reading today, and just leave that open if you guys really want the help. 5 is the number of change, so I like to leave that open. Yeah, feminine placements on the unhealed mask is so basura. It's so true. It's so true. Hi, Chelsea. How are you? I was like, basura. I know that word. Yo sé, pero yo no sé. But yeah, Dios, do you know what you are in human design? I know on 8-5. Exactly, girl. You already know. You already know. I was thinking about maybe doing something special the afternoon of like 888 or something like that, but yeah, exactly. Trash. Exactly. I remember this for the rest of my life. Yeah. Sometimes we need to be kind of like, hi, Orion. It's like the kind of like, oh, I need to be shocked. I don't want to say like the T word, but it's like, I need to be shocked at the basura, the absurdity that I'm like, it's funny. I also heard the song, just throw it in the bag, but it's like, just throw it in the garbage. Throw it in the trash. Yeah, he lied and made things up. It's like, you can live in your own delusional reality. That's literally what I said, the energy of the day. You can live in your delusional reality, but you could do that away from me, right? Like, if you're lying and making things up, you can do you, but away from me. I say that all the time. I just had Anna, who's my fellow friend and astrologer, talking about Libra Mars energy, and she was like, literally what the person on my line today at work, and she works for like a version of government, she was like, you were on a recorded line, sir. Like, do we not realize this? Like, hello. Yeah. You do you away from me. Yeah, I say it's so helpful where it's like, I have respect for who you are, but I also have boundaries to love myself and know that I cannot put up with that anymore. It's too much. It's too draining. We all have our different capacities for what is draining to us. And the more that I teach this work, like what I love about human design is when anyone says those things to me, I know that I can take it because I also dish it out. It's like, Sony, listen, I have to go back and listen to myself sometimes because I forget in the middle of the day. I'm like, what did I say today? Like, I'm experiencing frustration. My not self theme is a manifesting generator. What did I say? Like, what do I need to tell myself again? It's like, I need to go back and remember. Yeah, I will say this too, exactly what Mo said. Proud of you because he will have you questioning your reality. If a man ever makes you question and you're confused about how he feels, he's not the one. Or he's not ready to be the one, so he's not the one. Right? It's like you will never, a man who loves you, who desires you, who wants to be with you. This is me getting into my Shira 7 a little bit, but it's like literally you will never be confused. And this is somebody who is confused many times. I have been confused many times. Cross-culturally, cross-ethnicity, all of it, right? White, brown, and everyone in between, right? I've experienced it all. It's having Sagittarius placements. Thanks, you, Dios. Like having Sagittarius placements, like I've always kind of like dated around the world, I always say. And Aquarius rising too. But, or Sagittarius 9th house activation, I should say. But yeah, it's just like, there's things that Shira says and I'm like, she's a Pisces too. And, I think what I love too about, especially for you, Sonia, Scorpio, like Scorpio women is like, when you know something and you've clocked it, it's like Scorpio, my fellow Scorpio stelliums on the chat, you know it and you've clocked it. It's like, you won't have to learn it again. I just said, to somebody earlier who had a Virgo placement, not on live, but it was right before, that when you have Virgo or Scorpio placements, you've tracked it, right? I love that, Noelle. Yeah, thank you. You tracked it. I appreciate that compliment. You've tracked it, you've clocked it, and it's like, okay, I'm not going back there. Hi, Taryn, or you know how to address it in a way. Exactly, it's so true. You know how to address it in a way that's like, oh, I've got it, I've clocked it, I can show up in a different way. Doesn't mean that I have to write you off, right? Yes, exactly, Noelle. And Cap too. It's like Cap is like really the nail in the coffin. If Scorpio is the nail in the coffin, Capricorn is the blacksmith that has had very specific nails and hammers that have forged the nail in the coffin. And then once you've been buried, they also have the incinerator and the inferno that lights the entire thing like it never happened. Like ashes to ashes, dust to dust, like skull and crossbones energy, like 1000%. We really see that for sure. But yeah, all that to say, I'm gonna sign off. I have a workout class that I'm gonna get to. Hi, Soph. Hello and goodbye. Thank you guys for being here this afternoon with me. I was glad I got to pour into you in a little quickie afternoon session. Thank you, Sony. I'm proud of you for sticking up for yourself. Do you have, I do. I'm usually on 555. There were just so many people that needed help and I wanted to make it affordable because I feel like people are financially struggling. Even though 13 is available, I just know that like every little bit helps when it comes to energy, but also just like making things a little bit more available for meeting people where they're at. Yeah, 555-888-123456999. I love that. 9999. I had to say all of them. But yeah, so I'll leave my books at that. I'm gonna go and work out. I'll leave it at 555. So if you guys want to book for Thursday under that price, I will be on later. I think my books are open late. I'll double check Tam so I can make them a little bit later, since I won't be on tomorrow. But on Thursday, they will go back up again to 13. So thank you, Koala. I appreciate you guys. I love all the emojis. I always love, I love these afternoon sessions. So maybe I'll try to do more because it's just a different energy, right? The people who are available, and maybe it's later in your corner of the world, earlier on your corner of the world. It allows for different people's schedules that I don't always get to see. So thank you, Koala. I appreciate all of you guys. Have a beautiful Mars day. Do something that feels energetically aligned.